Hey guys, so as a way to kind of deal with the fact that during the semester it may be more difficult for me and Angela to get videos out about more complicated things, I figured that I might try and do this kind of like vlog type thing. Just not so much about me, but about what life as a grad student is like. So I guess maybe I'll do weekly, maybe every other week, monthly, I don't really know. Just about what's going on in my education, graduate school, and hopefully that'll be helpful for people who might be interested in attending grad school, but don't really know what it's like, don't really know what to expect, that kind of thing. Because, I'd like to encourage people to pursue STEM careers here, but also it's not easy, and you should know what to expect. So I started graduate school at Stony Brook this week. I'm in the Ecology and Evolution department. I'm doing an MA in, technically it's applied ecology or applied evolution, but it's more of a, even though it's an MA, it's a decently research focused degree, even if it's not a research degree. So I have to do a capstone project, which is essentially a research project, and I have to do 30 credits. So it'll take me about 3 to 4 semesters, doing 12 credits 2 semesters, and then 6 credits another semester, what have you. So this semester I'm taking Principles of Ecology, which is just a kind of general overview of ecology, but at the graduate level, so it's going to be more in-depth, and anyone who's in undergraduate, it's very discussion-based. There is lecture, but there's also a lot of discussion, reading scientific articles, reading the literature to make sure that we understand the current trends in the field and can talk about it at a graduate level. I'm also taking conservation biology, which is similar, but just more of an elective style class. And then I'm taking GIS, which GIS I may talk about in the future. It's a useful program for analyzing geographic data, or ArcGIS. GIS is Geographical Information Systems, which refers to a whole slew of things, which could include Google Maps, Waze, apps like that. And it's just a way to display geographical data. And I'm taking a class that teaches me how to use ArcGIS because that's used a lot in ecological research. But as a master's student, I basically take classes the entire time I'm there. But if you're a PhD student, you probably only take classes your first 2 or 3 years, and then the rest of the time you're there, which could be up to, there's a student in my lab who's going into her 7th year in her PhD. You're just doing your research, and basically you're an early career scientist when you do a PhD. You're not. It's education, but it's also, it feels very medieval in a sense, even with the masters, where you have your advisor and it's kind of like this master apprentice relationship. It's kind of weird. Oh yeah, I had my first lab meeting this week. Not every program is like this, but well, all PhD programs are like this, but I don't think every master's program is kind of like this, where I have my advisor and I'm in his lab, and I even, not just my work that I'm doing for my master's thesis, but also just doing work in the lab, assisting with other things that go on in the lab. Our lab keeps algal cultures, so I may be taking part in just taking care of those. So the lab meeting was kind of an introductory thing. I've already met everyone, so it wasn't so much like getting to know everyone, but we talked about the conferences that everyone went to over the summer. One of the PhD students presented a poster at a conference. The PI, which is the principal investigator, went to a conference and saw a few talks relating to some research that he's doing, which, by the way, this lab, the PI focuses on nutrient flows within ecosystems and how different nutrients impact mainly aquatic ecosystems, but he mainly does iron in the global ocean, as well as how plant traits affect nitrogen in wetlands. So that's cool stuff. And then one of the PhD students is doing what kind of food zooplankton prefer. Another PhD student is looking at how competition between species with similar traits affects their evolution. So a lot of cool stuff going on, a lot of diverse stuff. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of cool that there's so much different kind of stuff going on in this lab. As far as that, something that was weird to me coming just straight out of undergrad was I'm not used to the idea of I only have 3 classes. I'm taking 12 credits, which isn't actually that much. So I think a lot of the time taking comes from the outside homework that I get, which first week we haven't gotten a whole lot of that yet. So I'm interested to see where that's going to kind of take me. Ecology, I know, requires a lot of reading. And GIS requires a lot of outside time. Since I'm taking it as an online class, especially, just requires a lot of my own personal time to kind of get used to the program and how it works. And then aside from those, I'm taking a few of these kind of like 0 credit classes. One is called Colloquium, and basically each week they have a professor from another university or maybe from our university come in and talk about their research. Then one is like an informal seminar that's just the graduate students getting together. So cool stuff. I don't really have a whole lot to say about the first week, so goodbye. Also, dogs barking.